kind of updates on your health and maybe what you had to do this offseason to get healthy.
I mean, it's good. Last season was tough for me, fighting injuries and things like that. Wasn't able to be myself. But I took time over the summer and got my shots that I needed to, let it rest, and had a great summer. So I'm back to being healthy. I feel good again and just ready to redeem myself.
So you didn't have to have any surgeries or anything like that?
No, we just took 2 cortisone shots, gave it rest, and tried to see how that go, strengthen it with, different weights and things for my neck and different exercises, and I haven't had a problem since.
And I guess along those lines, first real off season since 2019, in terms of just the amount of time, what has that meant, and maybe can that mean for you, to be healthy and kind of, map out a season that you hope goes to June?
I mean, it was good. I think, with my age and things like that, it was good to take that time off. With the injury I had, it was good to have that long period of time where I can actually recover and do the things that I needed to get back to 100%. So I was excited for the time, but not so excited because we lost. So you always want to be in the fight at the end of the year, and, we fell short of that. But I think it put more fuel to the fire to come back and, try to have a better year this year.
Steve McGarvey, Associated Press. It was such a difficult year for you last season with all the injuries. Did you give any serious thought to retiring after the season, or did it make you that much more eager to come back and kind of have the season more on your own terms where you're fully healthy?
I mean, I thought about it. I thought about it hard. Sometimes you get inside of yourself sometime. And for me personally, I'm big on feelings and emotions. So I felt like I let the city of Milwaukee down last year, not being able to perform the way I normally perform. I let my teammates down being injured. And I thought about it, but, as a competitor, I didn't want to go out like that. So I had a great offseason for the summer, decided to come back and try to redeem myself and make myself better.
Eric Name, The Athletic. George, how frustrating is a season like that where you rack up those injuries?
I mean, it's very frustrating because you had the neck injury, and I'm not big on excuses. So really, no one kind of knew how severe it was. But I put myself out there to try to give it all I can and play, and it just didn't work out. And when I actually thought I felt like I was getting back, then I got the abdominal tear. So it was just a sucky year for me. But it's part of life. It's part of the game. You have your injuries, you have your ups and your downs, but it's how you bounce back from those things or how you define. So to give up is not in my nature. And I don't think it's in any of our team nature. And, I know that I belong here. I know that I can play, still here in Milwaukee. And I do owe this city a better George from last year. So I'm excited just to be back. I'm excited to be a part, and I'm going to take each day and do the best I can.
Hey, Jamal Collier from ESPN. You guys are bringing back pretty much the entire roster from last year. Just kind of what kind of advantages can that bring to have a group together just kind of consecutively like this for another year?
I mean, it's a big advantage to bring, 16 guys back from last year. We're all familiar with each other. We all know what we can do when we're healthy. But we have a lot of things that we need to improve on offensively and defensively. I think, everyone is excited. Everyone has that fuel and that burning sensation to get out there and compete. And we're going to start, by tomorrow, hitting the ground running, trying to make each other better, competing against each other, and just trying to be a better team.
Darius Joshua, CBS 58. George, did part of it just with the way the Bucks are, where they're one of the favorites in the East? You obviously have one of the best players in the league on the team as well. Is that part of it too that helped you want to come back and try to redeem yourself, as you said?
I mean, yeah. You're always trying to win. You always want to be in the competitive aspect in the series of things. But no, it's more me wanting to come back and play this game that I love. Sitting at home sometimes it gets boring. You miss your job, you miss competing, you miss all the things that come with being a player. So, it's easy when you do come back to an organization that is, competing for what your dreams are. It's good to come back to a city that you love. It's good to come back to a place where you've been embraced your career since being here. So, coming back here is easy. Like I said, it's going to be fun. It's going to be challenging, but at the same time, every guy in this locker room is excited to come back to prove that we can be one of the best teams in this league, and we've been that so far for the last 5-6 years. But we have one championship, so we got to continue to talk the talk if we walk the walk.
I mean, you still played defense at a really high level last year, and I know you don't like to make excuses, but did the injuries you were dealing with affect your shot in a way that, as you look back, you're like, okay, something just wasn't right there? And I guess I'm just curious then if you feel this off season, this training camp, you kind of get back to that percentage and that effectiveness you had a few years ago.
I mean, for sure. I had a thing in my T6, T7 spine where I tried to play through it after Christmas when it first happened. And, I started to get the tingling and losing the feeling in my three fingers, the top, my thumb, the middle, and the index finger, where they were starting to go numb and didn't have no feeling. But I was getting these like stingers in my neck on certain movements when I get hit with a screen, or sometime when I lift my arms up fast, I was getting those like sharp stinger pains, and it started to get worse and worse. And that's when we decided to try to shut it down. But as a competitor, they can shut me down, but I just wanted to get back out there so bad and try to help this team. And maybe it wasn't a good idea because if sometime you hindered your team, but things like that. But as a competitor, you just want to go out there and help this team try to win games.
Over the years, you've been on a number of teams with championship expectations. I think that's pretty clearly what you guys feel this year. How do you kind of balance that and not feel, I don't know if there's like a weight or anything that goes along with that? Like, how do you try to get through a season knowing that it's about that end goal?
That's always the goal for the last 6 years of, kind of being in this aspect of Milwaukee is always the goal. And we always talk about it. But I think this year we have to stop doing all the talking and we have to do the walking part of it. And that's, from the training camp day one, hit the ground and know, yes, the media or whatever it is might say that we have a chance to win, but we have to do the best we can to be the best team at the end of the year. That's staying healthy, but also creating those habits day in and day out to give us the best chance. Thank you, guys.
Great mom over there.